Hello and welcome to Dreas in the Caymans. I'm a YouTube vlogger and I will be posting videos all about our fantastic journey here in the Cayman Islands. Today I have a little surprise for you. I have our son Shaq with us and we are going to the Cocoa Fest at St. Pedro's Castle, and we will be visiting the original house that was transformed into pure art. We're also going to be watching and listening to Sandra Vanderbilt. She is a Caymanian here on the island. We are going to listen to her legacy of pure art. I have cut this down to 4 chapters so that you can watch this at your leisure. So sit back and enjoy this journey with us, and I hope you get as much out of it as we did.
And just spend some time with whoever of the family were actually living here at the time.
Which was your parents? Your parents had
Yeah,
long,
my
had
parents.
long come back from Jamaica?
No, not at that point.
Oh,
It was
okay.
Aunt Elga was the only one.
Aunt Elga,
Yeah.
okay.
So, where do we go from here?
So what year did you come back to Cayman? Full time?
Okay. So I used to go to and fro from like 57, I was in college in Tennessee, until 1960. And I would spend parts of my summer here and I loved Cayman. It was, like I say, it was really quite different to Jamaica. It was incredibly free, and the availability of the sea, and you just never had to think, you never locked your door, you never locked your car doors. It was an incredible experience. And so it would be that back and forth and my connection with Cayman. And then in 1960, I married a Dutchman. And we're not going to go into any details on that, as exciting as it was, because that's not part of this presentation. Until we get to pure art, because that's actually where we live.
Sure.
So do we want to make that transition now to pure art?
Sure.
Okay, so Peter and I got married in 1960, had an incredibly exciting life. I've got to share a little bit of that. Lived on a boat for a year and a half and so on. But now I want to share when we came here to Cayman to actually live. So 1973, Jamaica was getting difficult. They were playing footsie with the socialist regime in Cuba, and things were really getting difficult. There was quite a lot of violence, and you know, at the same time, while that was happening in Jamaica, Cayman had already begun to develop. So my parents, Irma and Wellesley Elmayo, and others of the daughters of Marie Borden, who lived in this house, right, had already moved back to the Cayman Islands. So we came 1973 and made our lives here. Okay, where did we live? We lived in what is now Pure Art Gallery. My father, Wellesley, had bought, somebody told me it was for like £400, we were still on the British system. My father had bought this house that sat in the middle of Georgetown. It was a 2-story house somewhere down behind like where Comart used to be. It was like a big field and this 2-story house on it. And my father bought the house and moved it to South Church Street. Pure Art Gallery was the upstairs. And one day, very interestingly, I was actually in Pure Art and this taxi man was in there after it had become a gallery. And this taxi man was in there and he said, "You Mr. Elmayo's daughter?" And I said, "Yep." He said, let me show you something. Come here, I want to show you something. And he showed me the saw marks right down the middle of Pure Art Gallery in this passageway. And he said, that is where your father sawed this house in two, and he labeled it north, south, east, west, and had it trucked out here and put back together on this property. Now, I find that absolutely amazing.
Yeah.
So here Peter and I, were living in this absolutely historic house, and really, really loved it. And then in time, we built another house as we had children, needed some more space and life changes, and we built another house, and at that point we're looking to rent this, what became Pure Art Gallery. We had a couple of people living in there, and then when our son, Christian Vanderbilt, got married to Debbie, and Debbie came, before they were even married, Debbie was actually sitting on a little deck that we had behind Pure Art Gallery, and she was painting. And I thought, oh wow, this is incredible. And she was and Debbie totally fell in love with that little house. And every other little house in the Cayman Islands, you can tell that by her art. I mean, everybody, this is a plug. Buy her calendar this year. Just beautiful, right? And so there she was, and in time it all kind of opened up, evolved. Peter and I moved into another house, and Debbie rented it to turn it into an art gallery.
It was 1987.
1987. And Peter and I were thrilled. The thought that, first of all, because it was Debbie and Christian, and also just because of our love of the house and her obvious, it wasn't just a love, it was a passion. That's Debbie's passion and her passion, and so she turned that into an art gallery, and the more it opened up and the more it expanded is the more absolutely amazing it became. And today I think the Pure Art Gallery is one of the most authentic, genuine, open galleries or shops of its kind on the Cayman Islands. And the other thing that I found just so gratifying is that Debbie also had a passion to help other artisans and artists, right? Not simply to bring their stuff for her to sell, right? But she actually encouraged them, and for some of them actually got them started in some of the arts and crafts that you now are seeing displayed at Pure Art Gallery. So I think that she has really been such an absolute total blessing for these islands. I really mean that, and not just plug-in, I mean that from my heart. It has been pretty wonderful to watch it all just expand.
What advice would you give to anybody who wanted to come and live in the Cayman Islands? Just generally.
What advice
Yeah.
would I give? If you don't have an open heart, stay away. That's number one. If you're prepared to come and accept not only the wonderful things about Cayman Islands, but its limitations without complaining and nattering and thinking that your culture is the only one that has anything to offer, right? That would be the second advice. And the third advice, I would say, just come and love it all. Just accept it all, love it all. It's a pretty amazing little island. And one of the reasons why I feel that it is what it is because we have a strong, godly foundation. Now I know in this point of time, people, I'm not a lover of religious stuff, right? But I am a lover of Creator God. And Cayman really has that foundation settled in their hearts, right? And also learning who Christ was.
So, I hope you had a great time and you enjoyed this video. If you liked it, definitely give us a thumbs up. And if you have any comments, Comment below. Introduce yourself as well. We look forward to seeing you again at Drea's in the Caymans. Bye, and have a great and prosperous week.